Hey, how's it going, guys? In today's video, I wanted to talk about who I think will win this generation, whether that's going to be Xbox with their Series X or S, or if Sony's going to continue to dominate with their PlayStation 5 model. It's something that I've been thinking about lately, and I've always wanted to make a video about it, so better now than later. So when it comes down to it, I think both companies they both have um, advantages over each other, and they also have disadvantages. With Microsoft, I feel like they're very good with their subscription model. I would say with Game Pass, like they have their shit together. You know, they know how to start up a subscription fee. They're pretty much essentially the Netflix of gaming, and I think with the acquisition with Bethesda, that's really going to help them out going in next generation. Um, it's still not enough to convince me to buy an Xbox Series X. I pre-ordered a PS5. I should get it sometime this week, but it 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 is raising an eyebrow for me, and I think for a lot of other people as to like what their future is going to be like. I do think they have a lot more potential, and I do think that this generation they will be a lot more successful than they were last generation. I mean, the Xbox One just reveal was just it was just a tragedy. Like if you look back at E3 2013, for all those DRM restrictions, it was just bad. But nonetheless, I do think this generation they have a lot more to bargain with, and I think people should not sleep on Microsoft for what they could potentially bring to the table. I mean, with the acquisition with Bethesda, I mean, who knows if these Bethesda games are going to become exclusive to their platforms. I mean, only time will tell, but I think Microsoft is doing a lot of pro consumer moves in order to cater to the mass audience, and we'll see what happens with them. So with Sony, as we all know, Sony completely just dominated this generation with the PS4. I mean, like it's no, it really was no competition with what Microsoft was doing. I mean, Sony with their stellar exclusives, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us Part Two. Whether people like The Last of Us Part Two or not, I personally loved it, but it was still a phenomenal game. And like the thing with Sony is that they just deliver exclusive after exclusive. Like honestly, I don't even think Nintendo can compete with them. And don't get me wrong, Nintendo has a lot of great exclusives such as Mario and Zelda and stuff. But the thing that, in my opinion, I think separates Sony from the rest of the industry is that they are not afraid to take risks. They will start up a new IP such as Horizon and Ghost of Tsushima. Those are perfect examples, and to critical acclaim. I mean, honestly, when was the last time that Nintendo released a new IP and stuck with it? You know, and it's just like it's something that I realized with Sony is that they're not afraid to take a risk, and it pays off for them every single time. And so what I see from them coming this next generation with the PS5 is I do could see them, excuse me, I see them continuing that path of just dominance when it comes to their exclusives. I don't see that changing anytime soon. Who knows what else they're gonna come up with? I mean, the only thing I would say with Sony that they need to work on is definitely their subscription model. I think Xbox definitely has them beat with Game Pass. I mean, the PS5 is coming with the PlayStation Plus collection, which I think is a really consumer friendly move. We'll see how that pans out. But overall, Sony definitely need to focus more on like PlayStation Now because like I mean I've tried PlayStation Now and it's just it's not worth it at all. Like I tried it for that 1 week trial like a month ago, and it's just it doesn't compare with what Microsoft has going on. So I think if Sony focuses more on their live service approach as they continue with their stellar exclusives, I mean I don't see them not winning next generation and continuing to dominate. But I also see these two companies just going in two completely different paths. I mean, like, yeah, Microsoft, they're releasing a new console, but I see Microsoft more catering to a subscription model than selling hardware. I feel like they're more focused on getting people to be on Game Pass than they are focused on selling the Series X or Series S. Um, I mean, I still think they want you to buy their consoles, but I think their main focus is to have people play as many Xbox games as they can in whichever platform it is, whether that's PC, a tablet or an Xbox console. I don't think it'll ever come to a PlayStation console, but who's to say? And yeah, I just both these companies are doing some really interesting approaches. I mean, I still think what the PlayStation 5 is doing is more interesting because I think right off the bat, PS5 has the better exclusives. I mean, it's just, I mean, that's not even debatable. I mean, the one exclusive that Microsoft had going for them got delayed until next year, and we don't know when that's going to release. I mean, that game needed to be delayed. I mean, if you looked at that reveal trailer, the game just did not look next gen, and I feel like the problem of as to why it didn't look next gen is because they were still holding on to the Xbox One generation. To my knowledge, I think it's going to release on the OG Xbox One that released in 2013, and I don't think that's a good thing because I mean, to my knowledge, I feel like that's holding a game back into what it could potentially be. But we will see. But with Sony, I feel like they're definitely pushing more to like next generation. Even though there are some games that are going to be released on both the PS4 and the PS5, such as Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and the next Horizon game. Um, they still look beautiful, like regardless if they release on the last gen. And I just think Sony has the better exclusives. We're talking Demon Souls remake, even though yeah, it's a remake of a PS3 game, but it just it looks phenomenal. It looks like a next generation game, and I mean, it's something that you should definitely consider picking up if you're a Souls fan on launch day. Godfall, even though it's releasing on PC, also it's a console exclusive, and that looks like an interesting game. And I think it's a game that I might end up picking up after I'm done playing Miles Morales, because one of my closest friends, he's actually going to play that game, and me and him were talking about playing co-op together. So Godfall definitely looks interesting. I mean, Miles Morales, even though you can play that on the PS4, you're gonna get the best experience on the PS5. So there's that. Um, there's some minor other games. I mean, Astro Playroom that comes pre-installed on every PS5. That's cool. And I heard that it really it works well with the new DualSense. So like the haptic feedback and the adaptive trigger, like they play really well with the game. So that's something interesting. And I will be playing that game once I get my PS5 just to try out the controller and just to see how it feels. Um, they had Destruction All Stars, but that got delayed until next year for as a PS Plus exclusive game, which I think was honestly the best decision for that game because when I pre-ordered my PS5, that was one of the games that was going to be included with it. But to be honest with you, like we don't know much about that game, and for $70, I feel like it just doesn't make sense to spend $70 on a game we don't know much about. It's better just to give it for free as a PlayStation Plus exclusive and have more people jump on board and play it. Um, let's see, we have Sackboy's Big Adventure, which could cater to a younger demographic, as well as Bug Snack, which I think is a free PS Plus game right off the bat. So, and from what I checked in reviews, it's actually a pretty decent game. I mean, it's not something that I think I will really want to play. I'll probably pick it up and try it out to see how it is, but who knows? But yeah, I think just PlayStation starting off is already ahead of Xbox when it comes to exclusives, and from what it looks like, they're going to continue that trend all the way until next year. I mean, we have Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart coming out, the next Horizon game coming out next year, Ghostwire Tokyo, which even though Microsoft bought Bethesda and it's a Bethesda game, I mean, it's still coming exclusively to the PS5 before it comes to the Xbox because I mean, Bethesda and Sony made a deal to keep it exclusive, as well as Deathloop, which is another Bethesda game that's gonna be exclusive to the PS5, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, you have all these just great games, and the next God of War Ragnarok. I mean, that's coming out from what they said late next year. If it doesn't come out next year, probably 2022. But still, it's within that time period, and it's just like Sony just doesn't look like they're gonna stop with their banger exclusives, and it's just like, what's Microsoft doing? Like, where are their exclusives at? I mean, they have some games coming out like the sequel to Hellblade and maybe the next Gears and Halo Infinite, but it's just like that's not enough to compete with Sony. And I mean, yeah, they have Bethesda, but like, when is the next Bethesda game gonna come out? And I just, I don't know. Like, I want to see the Xbox Series X succeed, and I think it will definitely be a more successful console this generation than it was last generation. But I mean, when it comes to exclusives, like I just think Sony has Microsoft beat. Like I think that the one thing that Microsoft has over Sony is their subscription model with Game Pass, and yeah, I guess you could say the fact that the Series X is more powerful than the PS5, but what matters about power if you don't have the games? And Sony has proven time and time again that they have the best games, and like their system is literally the best place to play. I mean, as their slogan states. So yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be an interesting console period. I mean, I will do an unboxing video of my PS5. The last unboxings weren't that good because I didn't have a stand or anything like that. I'm pretty new to YouTube, so this is just me feeling out everything, seeing how I do. I promise you, these as more consistent that I get, I will get better with these videos. I just need to be less camera shy and more prepared for what I'm doing. But yeah, we will see. I will do an unboxing video for my PS5 once it arrives. Um, I still need to do that video of the mic test for my PS5 Pulse wireless headset. I think somebody in the comment section asked me about it, so I will do a video about that maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, within the next 2 days, definitely before the PS5 releases. And yeah, so this is Adam Velasquez signing out, and if you have any questions, just please comment below. Take care.